Hello, how are you? I'm fine. I think this is not counting the video I did announcing Red Knight 2. This is the first real live Manos episode for the year, and I'm going to turn this up for no reason. I don't know why. And we're going to be talking and stuff. I don't really have like a specific theme or topic I want to like focus on. I thought it'd just be more fun to talk to you, and maybe we'll do a little bit of Q&A. So if you want to ask me some stuff, you can ask me some stuff. And let me just do some sharing here. Let's share because I care. Now, recently I did my first comic show of the year. I did nice Norfolk's original Indie Comics Expo, which was great. I'll talk a little bit more about that. I got some cool stuff there. So let me just share this link so people know I'm doing it. I haven't done a live show in like, I think 2 months or something like that. Sorry, folks. I got plumb busy. Hey, who's here? Hey, Marion. Hey, it's good to see you here. Let me do, let's see, real live Manos Q&A. Let me do it over on the Facebooks. Facebook. Okay. We're live. Hey, honey, when you get a chance, why don't you check out that thumbnail I made myself?
Oh, yes.
It's great. I don't know if I'll replace it. It's too good. Let me just, on a page I manage, let me just put this over on the Real Manos Facebook page, and we'll get going. I wish I could do this like cooler, but I guess it's the best way to do it, is to waste valuable time. How you see my,
Yeah, I see it.
Isn't it great? I'm awesome.
You are.
All right. Hey, folks. How you doing? I'm the Real Manos. And oh look, hey, Mount Vernon kids here. Hey Chris, how you doing? Stumble Reel, oh, it's good to see you. Hey guys, how are you this Saturday? I'm fine. Everyone's fine. And I just want to chat with you a little bit, see how things are going, tell you about the comics I'm buying. And let's see, Chris says, how's your wife?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, as usual, joining me is my co-host and wife, Lindsay.
Hello, everyone.
Just slightly off camera, so I will constantly refer to her, and maybe she'll like say something here and there.
If I feel like it.
If you feel like it.
Yeah.
You're too cool. Let's see. Also brought to you by Arizona Green Tea. No, I should get a sponsorship, like the real YouTubers these days. I would be lucky to get Red Wigglers, the Cadillac of worms. So that is a WKRP reference.
Oh.
That was actually a joke. Like they were a rock station, and they could only get like a guy who sells worms as their sponsor. So all right, last week, if you, unless you want to hear me talk about old sitcom plots and jokes, last week I did the nice indie comic show. Now that's really cool. It's at O'Connor Brewery in Norfolk, and O'Connor does these cool shows and festivals and stuff like that. They've done like craft shows with Lindsay. They do other things too that I don't pay attention to.
They do tons of shows and parties and things there.
Lots of events.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, Lindsay last year went to it because I was at work, and she came back from that and said, dude, you totally have to fucking do it. That's how Lindsay talks, by the way.
Yeah.
And she came back and said, hey, you got to do this show. This was amazing. Everyone was there buying stuff. It was great. There was no superheroes there. Nobody with full runs of comics and stuff like that should do it. And so I did it. And geez, this was really nice. This was very very successful. A lot of people were super nice. The people behind the show, the other artists and creators were all really nice. The fans who came to see the show were really nice. I posted them on the Red Knight Facebook page, and yeah, everyone was just terrific. Matter of fact, yeah, it was really funny. Like one guy just bought Red Knight just out of the first line of my pitch, like, oh, it's a superhero book that takes place in Norfolk, and he was like, okay, done, sold. Don't you want to hear what else is about? I was like, yeah, that's fine, but I'm buying it. It's like, oh, done. Yeah, they had a lot of cool stuff. They had a lot of zines. Let's see. Of course, I was there selling Red Knight 2, now available on manospublishing.com in digital and print. But yeah, there's this, let's see, this is Greg Steele. Greg Steele's awesome. He does a lot of indie comic art in the area. He does posters for the local movie theater when they do their cult movie nights. And he created this Kiss, let's see, Kiss Meets the Phantom 2, which is based on a terrible, terrible Kiss movie from the 1970s, which I feel like I and Kiss fans remember. You know that Kiss Saves Santa thing from Family Guy? Well, it's worse. So, let's see, there were some other artists. Hey, how's it going, Stranded J? Doing some really beautiful work here. This guy does this really lovely Spider-Man and Mary Jane shot. I love the way the city looks in this shot, how cartoony they look. I love it. And like I said, I didn't catch this woman's name, but she, let's see, Macy May. She had two things. She had this little fanzine, this little zine here of a blob trying to tell stand-up comedy. And then she had this print that I just fell in love with. I just thought that was gorgeous. So I bought that instantly. And there was this another guy who's really nice. He had this Gorson Goes to the Zine Fest. And let's see, let's take a look elsewhere. What else we got? Let's see, this guy was one of the guests. It's Ben Sears. I haven't read this yet, but this looks really awesome. The art looks fantastic.
Yeah, he's an awesome artist.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of. Like, I'm thinking of, like, I don't want to say Where's Waldo, because that sounds insulting, but there is like some really cool art I'd see in the Where's Waldo.
Yeah, it's
like original books.
It's kind of cartoony illustration, but like nice and detailed.
And let's see, what's that British comic that about that young boy and his
Nemo and Slumberland?
Yeah. No.
Not Nemo?
Not Nemo. Like the one where he's on adventures. He's had a Scottish dog or something like that.
Oh, Tintin?
Tintin, yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about Tintin when I was looking at this. Oh, thank you. Somebody jumped in. Thank you, Stumble Real. Let's see. This one's Yasmin, which, let's see. This is from, let's see. What's his name? Bazan. Yes. This stuff is really cool. I'm probably going to be talking about this stuff. Of course, being an indie artist, I feel like I should really support indie artists. This guy was really cool. This guy was next to our table, and let's see. This guy was David Moses Lenore, and he had these kind of like Jack Kirby style comics, and like they're very Jack Kirby. Like it's very cool.
I'm not super versed in comics, and even I noticed how Kirby they are.
Yeah. And it was so funny, like I would notice over and over again, like fans coming up to him and go, "Hey, Jack Kirby." You know, I told him like halfway through the show, I was like, "Hey, next time somebody says, 'Hey, Jack Kirby,' pretend you don't know who that is." He thought that was really funny. I don't know if he did it, but I told him like, "Jack, who's Jack Kirby?" Just say that and watch the blood just drain from their face. That'd be, I don't know. I hope he did it at least once. Also, I've been picking up a whole bunch of comics here. I haven't been doing reviews lately, and I apologize for that. During the holidays, I get really drained as far as doing videos, and of course, all the drama with YouTube and stuff like that. It's kind of been sucking the joy out of this. So I'm kind of been unsucking the joy. I don't know if that's a thing. But let's see. Stop me if you've gotten these things. Like I got Wonder Woman 750, which was decent. It's unfortunately not as good as the Superman and Batman thousands. X-Men, I think, is one of the best books out there right now. Jonathan Hickman is murdering it. What a great series. I'm, of course, enjoying Spider-Man. Actually, I think it's gotten a little bit better in the last few months. I think Nick Spencer was getting kind of like mixed up in a whole bunch of like the Carnage event and then the 2099 event and something like that. And the Craven story was great, but I think it lasted a couple issues too long. But now I think we're getting refocused, and this is really good. Captain Marvel: The End is really terrific. It's part of the End series. I'm not a big fan of those, but I couldn't resist Captain Marvel one, and that's really good. And of course, Kelly Thompson on Captain Marvel is excellent. I think that's probably the best I've seen. And Steven Universe, which continues to be fun. I gotta say, like, I haven't done an official review of this, but the lead story is terrible. I really did not like this, and this kind of like finishes off the story that's been running in Wonder Woman. Instead of doing all original stories, they decided to pick up like from like the current story arc that had been going in the regular book, and I don't know, it just doesn't hold up when you put it in this kind of collection. I think I don't know, I really don't feel they should have done it that way because it eats up a lot of page time. And Gia Willow Wilson isn't in here, and I suspect she's quit because she was having disagreements with editorial. I don't know. It just feels like the way she quit, she just was like, it's just one of those kind of quits. But okay. Hey, all right. There's this thing, and it kind of bugs me. I haven't really done it in a video or anything like that, but for the last 28 issues, it feels like Wonder Woman and Cheetah have been fighting, and they were starting to fight at this like public area where the Silencer was with her husband and child, and the carnage starts happening, and she puts on the suit and jumps into the fight, and under the pretense of like, I'm trying to protect my family, so she gets into this fight where, I don't know, it might have been a better idea to just get your family out of the area. She even starts fighting with Wonder Woman in the previous issue, saying, you're in my way. It's like, you weren't invited to this, and you're making things worse. And she doesn't do anything of value in this story. And I've only heard of Silencer, and she does have a fan base. People do like her, but she normally like this. She seems kind of like dumb. Like she really kind of like ruins everything. Like for the 2 or 3 issues that she's in this story arc, and she doesn't help at all ever. I don't know what the point of her besides having her appear somewhere. But yeah, the Gail Simone story is really good. The interrogation story is really good. All of them except the main story, I think, is really good. Let's see. She's kind of moody. Let's see. Nick Spencer, nice guy. Met him too. I met the artist for that at Tidewater Comic Con. He was really sweet. Yeah, I was telling him how much I was really digging him and Nick Spencer on the book, and he was a cool guy. Let's see, that 2099 arc event in Amazing Spider-Man really brought to a grinding halt. So happy it's over. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that was about. I can't remember anything about it. The art was really nice. I don't remember a damn thing about that arc. So I don't know. I'm glad that's over too. So let's see. Let me take a look here. this week on Real Manos, by the way, earlier today I posted a review of X-Men plus Fantastic Four 1 from Chip Zdarsky. Spoiler alert, I loved it. This is 5 RAM chips. This is a must read. This is a recommendation. This is a great book. Check out my review. I also, in the next couple of days, I'm going to be posting more reviews of comic books, including, let's see, this is Daredevil 17, Miss Marvel 12, and Miles Morales Spider-Man number 15. And this is a really good book. I'm not hearing enough people talk about this book. This is a great book. So let's see, what if you have any questions, you can ask me, like what am I reading, what am I interested in, my thoughts about other things going on. I don't know if there's been any like really major announcements, and I haven't really talked much about the Crisis on Infinite Earths miniseries event that changed everything. So if you want to ask me stuff like that, or Steven Universe, or Mr. Science Theater 3000, or Owl House, I'm watching Owl House. I'm watching Kipo, and the Age of Wonder Beasts. Those are kind of things I've been into right now. Hey, Stumblreel says, you've said before that you don't like what Harley Quinn has become, and what that character really, has become, but that character's really depends on how she's written in whatever comic, show, or movie she's in. And yeah, you can make that argument about anybody, like frankly, like anybody can be terrible. I mean, you can do bad Spider-Man. You can do bad, well, a lot of people do bad Superman, but you can take really great characters and screw them up. And, you know, Harley's no different. I really hate her costume since New 52. I just do not like it. And they've never had even a real consistent costume, like besides like, well, let's just like take a pile of laundry and throw it on her and that'll be her sexy costume. I don't know. You know, it's funny, ironically, the costume makes the most sense in that new Harley Quinn animated series because she has like the classic Bruce Timm suit and she breaks up from the Joker and then she puts on, you know, something else. It was like, okay, yeah, I understand that because the costume, you can make the case that the old costume, the Bruce Timm suit, is representative of a relationship with the Joker, and she wants to get away from that when she breaks up with him. I don't know, but I don't know. It's just, can you make it like look consistent or look like a okay costume? I don't know. I've just never been happy with it, and I talk way too much about the costume. She has been inconsistent as a character the way she's written. Either she's like, you know, I guess she's now an anti-hero. I guess she's DC's Deadpool. Frankly, but you know, there are times where I mean, of course I feel like terrible for her. She was like an abuse victim by the Joker, but at the same time, I've always had this issue with only feeling so much sorry for her because she looked at the Joker and said, that's the guy for me. This horrible, obviously evil monster gets me. So I don't know. There's something obviously wrong with you if that's what you're thinking. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've gone a little bit too long, but I'm looking forward to seeing Birds of Prey tomorrow. I think we're going to go see it tomorrow, and I will be posting a review. Yeah, I'm posting movie reviews again, so I'll be talking about that. I'm still unsure as to why Warner Brothers and DC decided to call this obviously Harley Quinn movie Birds of Prey. I mean, that's like if they had made the first if they had made the first Deadpool movie and they had called it New Mutants, and also Deadpool appears. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they went that way. But whatever. Okay, where are we going? Stumble Reel. I think comic readers put too much stock in the concept of the character or story, but they forget about the possibilities of its execution. Yeah. Mount Vernon Kid says, are you going to be at the Tidewater Comic Con this year? Because I will be. And yes, I already have a table. Lindsay already has a table. We're going to be there. We're going to be selling our wares. That's in May. I will at least have 3 issues out of Red Knight. Issue 3 will be out at that time. And let's see, Lindsay will have some new stuff. Yep. And yeah, we're gonna be there. You won't miss us. Let's see, Joker's new girlfriend. Joker's new girlfriend. By the way, Lindsay, did you know Joker has a new girlfriend?
No, I didn't.
Her name is Punchline.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Do you want to look her up?
Sure.
Let's see. To be honest, I don't know anything about her. I've seen the image of her, and her name is Punchline, which people have brought up the fact, like, he's usually really abusive to his
That was my first thought.
girlfriends. I mean, yeah, I get Punchline, but also, are you looking at her?
No, that was my first thought was,
Yeah.
he's abusive, and Punchline?
Yeah, I know. I swear to God, if her real name is Judy, I'm going to be so... like Punch and Judy.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't you do it. Whoever created her, don't you make her name Judy. Let's see. According to DC editorial, Harley is their 4th pillar. Yeah, I've heard this in terms of publishing alongside Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. I mean, she is right now. She has kind of bumped Flash and Green Lantern out of the way, which I don't know. I mean, she's a Batman character, so I don't know about that. I'm trying to figure out who I would. I am not a fan of Barry Allen Flash, and Green Lantern's never really caught my eye. So I don't know. I mean, who else could be like the 4th pillar? 4th pillar, if it's not Harley Quinn. Because then there's like Batgirl and Supergirl, but they're also connected to those characters, and I don't know. What are your thoughts on Transformers comics? I have been thinking about getting back into Transformers comics. It's been years. It's one of those books that I stopped buying because I just didn't have the money to buy everything, and that was unfortunately a sacrifice. But I'm really looking forward to buying Transformers again. There was a event comic mixing some of their titles called Revolution. I just saw Lynn Carr do a review of that, and it looks really cool and fun. So I'm gonna probably see if I can pick that up. Fun fact about me: when I was like 12, I had reached the highest level of maturity, and I decided not to read comics anymore. I know, stupid. And about around 17, 18, despite not reading comics, I'm still watching cartoons. I was watching like Transformers and stuff like that and thinking it's the most awesome cartoon ever. And a friend of mine in high school said, oh, hey, there's like a Transformers comic. I was like, what? There's a Transformers comic? Okay. Like, all right, I'll buy this comic and that'll be it. Like, no, I'll buy no other comics. And when I was at the comic book store, I noticed Spider-Man had a black costume and the Hulk was gray. And Robin was dead. I was like, what have I been missing? Okay, I'm going to just get these, and that's it. And that was what, 1988? I have not turned back since. So Transformers is very responsible for my comic book life, frankly. Let's see. You guys watch The Witcher? No, that's the Henry Cavill show, right? I have not been able to see that. We just got done watching Kipo, and we were watching Sabrina. We spent the last couple weeks watching that. I don't know if we've decided on a new show to watch. Isn't there? Hey, what do you think about Lock and Key? That's on Netflix right now.
I am interested in that.
We might see that.
Not particularly interested in Witcher.
Witcher?
I don't play the games.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't. Let's see. I don't know. There's something. I think the Henry Cavill thing is based on a book series, or it could be games. To be honest, I don't know anything. I know he has white hair in his fantasy thing, and people are liking it. So I don't even know if that's that. Let's see. Since Michael Spark, let's see. Since Dial H for Hero is wrapping up, along with the Wonder Twins, I am struggling to find any other books that catch my eye until Batcat starts. Yeah, I agree. I made this announcement on Twitter, and I'll bring that up here. Is that I just this past week dropped the last two DC books I was buying. I was buying Wonder Woman and I was buying Lois Lane, and I'm just kind of done with the regular DC universe right now. They have this like another reboot coming out where they apparently Wally West has merged with Dr. Manhattan. That's what they're going with.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
It's weird.
Yeah. So I guess that like it's it really does feel like the genie is out of the bottle. Like, well, we played around with Watchmen. Like, I guess we could still keep doing that. So they're gonna have it take place in one of their events, which I don't like. I do not like their reboot events. Their rewriting continuity events. Just what, change your tone. Just if you have some kind of like change in what you want to do with your books, just do it naturally. You don't have to do these editorial events, which I think are. I don't think they're interesting to read, frankly. The first one is interesting because it's the first time it's ever been done, but like they keep doing them. Let's see. So you saw the first Naruto movie. If it's the land of snow, yes, I think that's the first one, and I'm bringing back anime replay. And a long time ago, when I did the third episode, I was promising the next episode would be a Naruto movie, and I'm finally going through with it. I've watched it once. I really dug it, and I'm going to actually watch it a second time sometime this week, so I can kind of like go in fresh and write my review. I also, since watching it the first time, I've watched the first few episodes of Naruto because I've never actually watched the show, and it's interesting. This film must have come out like during after the course of like a lot of character development, because he's like a doofus in the first few episodes. I've heard people compare Steven Universe and his journey to Naruto, and after seeing the first couple episodes of Naruto, I understand that comparison now, because like he's not nowhere near as doofy in the movie. Like he's a pretty kind of classic hero. Yet he's like not perfect. He's still a teenager, but he's not the goofball that is in the first couple episodes. Excuse me. Do you think White Diamond, the White Diamond looking character in the future intro, could be a new Diamond? No, I think the one kind of in pink going. I think that is White Diamond. I think she's being controlled, possibly by Steven or something. I have no idea where they're going with this thing. We've seen Steven Universe kind of like getting more and more frustrated, and it's affecting his powers, and it's affecting him. It's affecting his emotions, and we'll see. I don't know if they're going all the way with corrupting him, or maybe his power will corrupt itself and separate itself, which is partly what I've been thinking about. I don't know. So I do believe he could control White Diamond, which would be an interesting twist, considering that was her whole thing, controlling people. It's like, hey, how do you like it? Okay. All right, Michael. I'm holding on to Lois Lane by a thread, as well as Jimmy Olsen was actually pretty good this week. Issue 50 is supposed to be Wally West and the Mobius chair stuff. That's really cool. And I was almost holding on to Lois Lane because it's a 12 issue maxi series and we're halfway through it. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. There's been a couple of issues of this book that's had to like tie into the other stuff going on. And it's like, you know what? I hate it when miniseries get interrupted by events and crossovers and stuff. I feel like that's not good. I mean, that's fine when it's an ongoing, obviously, but a miniseries, no. Um, so yeah, I just couldn't do it. And I told the guy behind the counter, like, hey, I'm going to drop this book of Lois Lane. And he goes, oh, you sure? Blah, blah, blah appears in this and it's set up. And this book is already going for 20 bucks. Like, I don't even know who that is and I don't care. I can't, because what am I going to do? I'm going to like fence the book for 20 bucks. Like, no, I don't care. I'm just going to keep it. So I was like, I'll just drop it. Let's see, what would Marion, what would Yellow Diamond think of Megatron? Um, I think they would respect each other as far as their military prowess. Um, I don't know if they'd hate each other because they're kind of, now that I think about it, kind of similar. Um, that would be great. She would obviously side with him about Starscream. She would think he's an idiot, and she'd probably maybe think it's probably stupid of Megatron to leave this guy hanging around as his number two, who says literally every day, "I'm going to stab you in the back and replace you, Megatron, and take over." I don't know if that's good leadership, but so I don't know. I don't think she would probably think that's good management skills. All right. Matt McVernon Kid, what do you feel about Sam Raimi in talks about doing Doctor Strange 2? And I am all about it. I am a huge Sam Raimi fan. Him doing Doctor Strange sounds great. I know the fact that they're kind of like tooling it as like the first MCU horror film with discussions of, not discussions, but involving the multiverse. So yeah, I'm all about that. I know he's a big Steve Ditko fan. I mean, good Lord, he name drops Doctor Strange and Spider-Man 2 as if he was already existing or something like that. So I mean, God, the sky's the limit, and we might get to see Bruce Campbell play something. Uh, do their whole thing where he just randomly shows up as a character. I would love that. I just enjoy. Look, I was a big fan of Darkman and the Evil Dead movies, and of course the Spider-Man films. It was so funny when I was watching Darkman. I was like, God, this guy needs to do a Spider-Man or Batman movie, and he did Spider-Man. It's just like a dream come true. So I know he'd be all about it. So I hope he can work within. If he can work with Sony, he can work with Marvel. So let's see, where are we here? Let's see, Stumble Reel. I am so friggin' over shared universes in comics, and I enjoy them, but here's the thing: you need to not overdo things. You need to not make sure that everything matters and builds into this next game, because Marvel does it better than DC, but I think Marvel also does this thing with its events where everything has to build up to the next event. And therefore it gives sometimes creators less time to work on their books and like, oh, great, I have to get it dedicated 2 issues of this season to this event that they're doing. I wish it was a little bit more loose. Like, oh yeah, they have interconnecting, plots and storylines and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's this attention to always grip the reader to the point where sometimes I do feel like it's maybe overly dependent on. Let's see. I know it's a staple in media. I just prefer series of their own and to themselves. Yeah, and it used to be cool, like back in the day when like Daredevil would be fighting someone and Peter Parker would be taking pictures, or like let's see, like the Fantastic Four would show up at some celebrity function and stuff like that, and that's the way Marvel kind of used to do it, and then Marvel and DC both in the '80s learned that, hey, man, events really sell, and they went from like doing them like every like couple years to every year to now every 3 months, it feels like. um so I don't know, it feels like as if TV shows, like let's think about in TV shows, because the CW events are, I think CW is pretty much very similar, where we got these TV shows, they interact with each other, and then they have these big events like the Crisis one and stuff like that, and the Nazi World one, whatever that one was called. But I mean, just imagine if all these shows had to build up every few episodes to these next events over and over again. It's exhausting. Like when everything is too epic and exciting, it is a little tiring because it becomes normal. And I think that's my big problem with shared universes and specifically events. Let's see. Extra account. I want to see Thanos. Fortnite. Okay. Let's see. How old are you? I am currently 48. About to turn. Not about. I'm 48 right now. Let's see. Stumble Reel. Said something like 8 years ago. Any excitement for CW Lois and Clark show? I'm decently hyped for a weekly Superman series, and yeah, me too. I like this Superman and Lois Lane. I like their chemistry. I like those actors, and it's kind of nice to see like a chill and cool together Superman and Lois that don't seem to be stressed and murdered all the time. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm all about it. I think it's going to be on. I don't think it's going to be on CW. I think it's going to be on an app or something, like, not an app, a streaming service or something like that. So I don't know if I'll be able to get to see it. If it's on HBO Max, I probably am planning to get HBO Max. I'm not excited about getting another streaming service, but
there's gonna be so much stuff on it.
Yeah.
Especially since I think a lot of Hulu stuff
Yeah.
is moving over there.
Yeah.
So eventually probably will get rid of Hulu and have HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what Disney's going to do with Hulu, because now they own the majority share of Hulu.
Yeah.
And it'd be smart, like maybe if some of the things that are a little too adult to put on Disney Plus, like they feel uncomfortable with, that could be a place for, on Hulu.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to see Pulp Fiction? It's over on Hulu. It's not. Pulp Fiction is never going to be on Disney Plus. No. Or Menace to Society. Disney owns Menace to Society.
That's just so weird.
Yeah, I know. So that would be a good way to use Hulu for the more adult stuff.
Yeah.
I heard. Let's see. Michael says, I heard that Hulu will be the destination of a lot of Fox properties. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Extra account. Have you heard of Mike and Melissa? I have no idea who. I'm sure they're nice. I don't know. Are they characters? It's going to be on the CW, just like the Stargirls. So, wow, Stargirl and Superman. I mean, CW is going to be mostly DC shows, which is, to me, fun. I like that. But like, man, if I was somebody who watched CW and didn't like superheroes, that'd be a kind of okay. Well, I'm tired of watching these superhero shows. I'm going to watch Riverdale, a non-comic book. Oh wait, that's also comic books. Let's see. Extra count. Have you heard of Chris Chan? No, I am not familiar with Chris. Do you know who Chris Chan is? Nope. Sorry. I'm sure he's nice. Let's see. Stumble Reel. Are you gonna keep going with Ntaro? It's 720 episodes. Most of them non-canon. No, I probably will just watch the movies. If my interest gets piqued, maybe I'll start watching the show. But man, there's a couple of shows and Naruto is one of them, and One Piece is another. That's a little daunting. Like One Piece is like 86 billion episodes. I mean, good for them. That's awesome, but like that's a lot of shows to get into. Um, that's like going, hey, Law and Order. Maybe I should binge watch that. Uh, so, have you heard of this show called Saturday Night Live? You know, maybe we should check it out. Let's see, extra count. You should watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about that show, so I'm curious about it. Do you think Brainiac from DC Comics should work as a villain, only for Steven and the Gems, but the Diamonds as well? Let me tell you something. I have long theorized that Steven Universe would be a great DC title, and so therefore, I think pretty much Brainiac and a lot of DC villains would be really cool for Steven and the Gems, and I would love to see that kind of stuff mix up. So I mean, yeah, I mean the New Gods and Darkseid. I'd very much be excited to see Darkseid and Steven Universe interact, or I mean, like a Darkseid Garnet fight would be fun. I can't get enough of that stuff. I do think he fits better with DC than he does Marvel. I don't know. It just feels like it makes more sense. Let's see, Mount Vernon Kid. Who's your cartoon good dog? Oh, Scooby Doo. There's like no question on that. Is there another cartoon dog?
Jake.
Jake. Oh well, Jake. Yeah, that's right. Oh, crap. Well, I mean, I would carry on with the conversation better than Jake. Jake seems really chill. Man, that's a really good answer. I don't know. He's a little more irresponsible than Scooby is.
Yeah.
So I'd probably stick with Scooby Doo, but Jake is a close second. Let's see. Extra count. When do you think the Nazis will come back to the MCU? I don't know. I think. I don't think they will. Maybe Hydra, and Hydra is basically the MCU's stand-in for the Nazis. I don't know. There's Hate Monger, which is a blatant Nazi character. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they feel like doing with the Captain America franchise. Marion, if Brainiac from DC wanted to hurt the Diamonds from Steven Universe, how do you think he'd go about it? Well, he would most likely try to poof and collect them. That seems like his deal. He tends to collect civilizations and people. So they already have a surefire way of collecting people well, at least gem people in their homeworld setup. So yeah, that would probably, as soon as he discovers you could do that, that's probably what he would do. Yeah, I've been hearing, let's see, since we're talking about, I don't have another question right now. So I'll get over to Steven Universe, which I've been hearing word that the show might be coming back in spring, and people are talking about maybe March or April or something like that. And when it comes back, I think that's going to be it. That's going to be the last run of episodes. So we'll see, unless they're planning to do an HBO, Max series of specials or something like that.
Well, I do expect them to eventually do other movies and other miniseries.
I think it has a lot to do with Rebecca Sugar. Like if she's done, like she's been doing this since 2013.
Yeah.
She might be ready to move on. I don't know. I mean, or she might be totally chill with doing this for the rest of her life. Like I'd be, if I could just do Red Knight for the rest of my life, I'd do that. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, got some more questions. Extra count. When will you talk to Hitler? When you talk to Hitler has a dying wish, you should go see him. Wait, hold on. When you talk to Hitler, he's dying, you should go. I'm gonna go with no. Let's see. Mount Vernon Kid, whose character you never got into but wanted to? Oh, that's a good question. Oof. The question. I dig the question, and I have trouble. Well, and I partly blame this for DC for not giving me enough question material. I mean, they put out a question series, I'd buy it. And probably my other answer to that would be over at Marvel, Moon Knight, which has a lot more material to choose from. And I still haven't really dug into it. With the big exception being the Warren Ellis run, which was only 6 issues. I absolutely loved it. And after I saw that, it was like, oh man, I'm going to totally be into Moon Knight. I don't know. I haven't really invested in Moonlight. I did buy the first issue of the Jeff Lemire run, but I didn't pick the rest. So yeah, a question on Moon Knight, which they're not too far apart as type of characters. Let's see, Stumble Reel. Naruto has a overarching story, and the movies interludes to that story. If you just watch the movies, you'll probably get confused when you see the characters and you expect them to know. Thanks for the warning. Although I'll take that in consideration. So it's one of those things where I'm pretty decent at going, okay, this is part of a series. I'm watching pieces of it. I'm just gonna accept that things have happened and just kind of roll with it. I'm pretty good about that. But yeah, it would probably be worth checking out the series. I think I'll do some reviews of some of the films, and based on those, maybe I'll get more into the series. But who knows? I'm looking for some animes that really kind of grab me. I've been watching a lot of Western animation lately, like Kipo and the Age of the Magical Beasts is a must see. I think that show is excellent. And in fact, to you, audience, I should tell you that you should check the show out. It's absolutely wonderful. My favorite question is Renee Montoya when she took over the mantle. Yes. And that was annoying when they just took it back, or now there's 2. I was annoyed that they killed Vic Sage, but I liked Renee taking over, and Greg Rucka did this cool story arc with her, and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of got it. All right, cool. All right. And then they bring him back after New 52 and stuff like that. And I was like, oh man, just now there's both of them is the question, which is fine. Although, I don't know. I feel like if Vic is back as the question, maybe she should have a new name. I keep thinking, Lindsay, what do you think about this? What do you think about the original Vic Sage being called the question and Renee Montoya calling herself the answer?
That's pretty cool.
And and this is why I think this is cool, because he's like a reporter asking questions, and she's like a cop looking for answers. And I don't know. To me, that always makes sense. That's going to have to be on my to-do list if I become a big deal writer. Change that stuff. We could call the series Q&A.
Yes.
Hey, would you like to read Q&A by me? I'll do that. I'll do that book. Okay. Mount Vernon Kid says, watch My Hero Academia. I've been thinking about that show, but I'm so inundated by superheroes. Just seeing another thing of superheroes. I've been purposely trying to avoid as much superheroes. I've been watching The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes on Disney Plus, because I've never watched the whole run of that show. I've watched bits and pieces. And I watched Ladybug on Netflix, and it's almost a good show. And I still keep watching it because the animation and the characters and the concepts are really cool. It's just terrible writing, and it's just God, it's the one big piece of the show that is wrong. Let's see. Let's see. Stumble Reel says movies based on shonen anime shows are usually pretty much advertisements for their shows, and yeah, I would agree to that. Um, the Steven Universe movie kind of feels like that. It almost feels like, hey, this is what Steven Universe is, folks. Why don't you watch the show? Um, and it's a really well done version of that. Saddest thing about Montoya is the question is that no one has done anything with her outside the 5 books, and like she's been popping up in Lois Lane, but that's written by Greg Rucka, who kind of like created her as the question. So like nobody really picks up that baton and really goes for it. I don't know if the plan in the MCU film, not MCU films, excuse me, in the DC films, I don't know if the plan is to make Renee the question or something like that. Michael says calling Montoya the answer might be too close to Ditko's Mr. A character, but love your idea. I'm not too familiar with Mr. A, but you could think of that as almost a loving tribute, and that kind of like fits. Stumberrill, I guess he likes my concept and concept and execution. Let's see, I assume either maybe talking about Ladybug and stuff like that, which is like, damn, it's like, why is the writing so bad on this? And I'm still invested. Like I keep waiting for it to get better. Bizarro Critic, hey, what I miss? Geez, I've been talking randomly. I talked a while about independent comics, and then I've been kind of doing a Q&A talking about some DC films, stuff like that. I announced I'm like not buying any regular DC books now. I will be buying like non-canon stuff, non-continuity stuff, specials. I just picked this up yesterday. I haven't had a chance to start reading it yet. But there's the Shadow of the Batgirl, young adult graphic novel. Picked this up from Barnes & Noble yesterday. This is big, fat, thick graphic novel. And it's its own separate continuity of Cassandra Cain. She seems to be a little younger. The art style is a little bit more cartoony. And but it's like really cool looking. And it's essentially like this is from Sarah Cohn and Nicole Gunt, excuse me if I can't pronounce that. What would you say that last name is? Gunt? Gugoux?
Go.
Go? Okay, sorry. I'm horrible at pronouncing names.
French if it has an X on the end.
Yeah, oh, that's a good point. But yeah, this is really cool, and it's kind of a stripped down. She doesn't put on the classic costume, but she has her own thing going on here. And I've been leafing through it. And the art is really like gorgeous looking. Some of the set pieces in here are really nice, and Barbara seems to be like in a wheelchair in this. So, and actually, it starts out with this introduction of the writer talking about how she was like really inspired by the original series from Kelly Puckett and Damian Scott. And it's very lovely, very, very touching tribute to that. And she wants to, do her own thing with it. Let's see. I've read the first couple pages. It's really good so far. I've read this much, so I haven't got too deep into it. I definitely do want to do a review for this when I finish this up. So I'll be like reading stuff like this here and there, non-continuity stuff, which to be honest, like DC, I don't know, doesn't have continuity, so who cares now? I guess I'll just buy whatever. I guess I'll look for that Jill Thompson Wonder Woman. I still haven't picked up yet, but I love Cassandra, and like there was no way I was not going to buy this. DC and Marvel seem to have recently discovered that the juvenile market is selling a lot. DC's doing some original stuff with their superheroes, and Marvel's been repackaging some of their stuff in this. Of course, Marvel, of course, it's like, hey, let's save some money, let's reprint our stuff. But DC is like, printing like original stuff here. But so yeah, I've been thinking about also checking out some young adult graphic novels too, because they touch on different subjects and topics besides superheroes. And I don't know, might be worth checking out because this stuff is selling. I don't know if you've been checking out like some sales numbers, but they've been doing really well. Scholastic, I think, probably sells better with graphic novels than Marvel and DC do. Let's see. Let's go. Stumble Reel. I've been reading, watching series, and finishing up a good word of mouth. Throw away. What's my chances of disappointment? Yeah, I've seen these, but yet to read them. I heard they were good. Bizarre Critic says, I just came back from Birds of Prey. Let's see, and yet DC let Bendis kill Super Sons. Also, Stumble Reel says, the New York Times best-selling graphic novel is always full of young adult comics and manga. That's true. That stuff sells. And you know what? All these guys who say, hey, comics are dying, they're not paying attention to this. All this stuff sells. Comics are doing fine. Matter of fact, I think they're doing more than fine. I just saw some sales numbers. Ron Mars posted a sales chart of sales since 2011 or something like that, and they've been climbing. Like for the last 3 or 4 years, it's been $1 billion business. Because in the 2000s and early 2010s, it like fell out of the $1 billion business and went to the $1 million business. But yeah, for the last 4 or 5 years, it's been in $1 billion, and a lot of that is DC, Marvel, and Scholastic. So we're doing fine. So I'm going to be checking this out. I mean, look, you put Cassandra Cain in something, I'll read it, especially if you call it Batgirl. She's the best Batgirl. I'm sorry. I got an indie book. Let's see. I got indie books you should read. White Widow, Super. Let's see. And Lady. Let's see. I've heard of the last one too. Let's see. I'm definitely looking to read more stuff. I was talking to the writer of American Dreams just last week, and I was talking to him about reviewing first 2 issues of his book. I'm going to be doing that sometime when I get a chance, hopefully this week. And I definitely want to do more indie comic stuff. Oh, I did a review of Chess, and I've only posted it on the Blair Real Manos channel. I haven't posted it here, so I'll do that here too. Let's see. I know. Let's see. I know I said this already, but check out Bakuman. I will. Let's see. It'll inspire you as a comic. Let's see. Hopefully, I always look for inspiration. I never stop looking for inspiration, and you shouldn't too. So, I think we're getting close. Oh, hey, we're almost at midnight. We're almost at the hour point. Here at Real Manos Live. Hey, I'm happy we're able to fill out the hour. I decided I wanted to do a show today, and I didn't really have a subject I wanted to talk to. I haven't seen Birds of Prey yet, so I didn't have that to talk about. So I'm glad you guys could join me, and we could actually do a little Q&A and discuss some things. Okay, you can follow me on the usual places. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also support this channel with Patreon. I actually just retooled the Patreon page, and you can also not only support this YouTube channel, but I'll start posting short stories and scripts on the Patreon for Patreon backers to see. So if you want to see some of my work as we go, I will post some Red Knight scripts and some Real Manos scripts, and maybe I'll start doing. I have a couple of fan fiction things I wrote, and I think I'll post them there too. Let's see, it's manga about 2 dudes making a manga. Oh, that sounds cool. But Red Knight is available now in digital and print over on Manos Publishing. Issue 2 is out. Issue 3 is going to be out next month in March in print and digital. I'll be talking more about that later. And I should mention Red Knight 4 is going to be done as a Kickstarter event. So that's going to be in May. We're going to do a Kickstarter for that. I hope we can have your support for that book. And I hope to hear more from you about the book, because look, I'm just going to keep making it, so you might as well read it. I think that's it. Lindsay, do you have anything you wanted to share with the folks?
Oh, comic books. Everyone should be reading things from Joe Hill's DC imprint Hill House Comics.
Yep.
There's Daphne Byrne, the Low Woods, and the Dollhouse Family.
Okay.
And I've been enjoying them very much.
Now, are these all like in a shared universe?
No.
Or
they're all independent stories written by different people.
Okay.
They're just all horror comics that he's curated.
Okay. Oh, okay. So he's like the editor-in-chief.
Yeah, he's doing one series. He's writing. Which one is he writing? He's writing something called Plunge.
Okay. Oh, Kelly Jones is doing Daphne Byrne.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, Kelly Jones was on Batman during the '90s, where he did the really crazy-eared Batman and the crazy long ears Batman. He does a really great gothic, kind of like creepy, beautiful art style. He was also in Sandman. And he did the Batman Red Rain, and he's doing this book now.
So Daphne Byrne is about it's a Victorian setting, and it's a girl. She's just turned, coming into womanhood. I think she's 12 or 13, and she gets an imaginary friend who's probably a demon, and probably is going to start corrupting her. It's only on issue 2.
Oh wow.
Then there's the Low Woods, which is a bit of modern folk horror.
Oh, yeah, toss it over.
Oops, sorry, that's
okay.
too hard.
This is another Joe Hill book, The Low Woods.
And I don't have the Dollhouse Family sitting right here, but that's also very good.
Okay. Hey, I have some good news. I'm also planning to do some horror comics over the next year. I've started writing one right now. I'm going to do a Caprice comic as well. And I just miss writing horror. Haven't really done it as much. And I haven't done it in horror, in comics in a good long while. So Lindsay's pick, if you're looking for something different, not superheroes, you're looking for horror, the Joe Hill stuff from DC Black Label. Let's see. Most imaginary friends are demons in horror stories. That's true. Or Tyler Durden, which also is a demon. All right, I think that's it. Lindsay and I are done, so we're going to take off. And tomorrow, I'm going to be posting a review of Miss Marvel 12, and that'll be that. So, hey, thanks for joining me tonight here at the Real Manos, and unless something happens, I'll be doing another show next week, next Saturday at 11 p.m. See you later. Good night.